Hey folks, welcome into PostCard Travel TV. I'm Lou and I like to travel, and this is Amy and Dennis, and they are travel agents, and they have 30 years plus experience doing this. Now, we cover all different things about travel here on the show: cruising, flying, hotels, everything. Help you get the best deals, discounts. You can join our travel club. There's a lot of things we can do here. But today we're going to talk about something we don't talk about a lot, and that's different locations to travel to, like Alaska, Europe. And you said New England.
Yes, New England's very popular.
So tell me.
And New England, they only do 3 to 4 to 5 cruises, depending on the cruise line, because they can only sail there because of the weather.
Right.
So those things sell out. So booking those at the last minute is, you can, however, you may get a very bottom inside room where you don't want to be.
Right.
So I always say with Europe, Alaska, and New England, that you want to book those at least a year and a half out. And I know that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But you have to think, with Europe and Alaska, they only sail during like May to September, depending on the cruise line or travel. You don't want to really go any other time because the weather's not really good.
No, what about New England?
So New England is great. They're more May to August.
Fall foliage is what they want. So September, October, ends around October for New England. Weather gets bad, the seas get rougher. New England cruise, September, October is peak for that.
Okay. Now, how does that work? Okay, so like I get the Europe and I get the Alaska. With New England, though, to me, I always think about flying to New England, or driving around and doing that. How does it work with the cruise? Like, do they pull into ports and you get off the boat and look at the foliage, or do you see it from the water? How does that work?
Well, you can see it from the water. It's
just like any, the typical one that we've done several times, actually, and doing again this year, leave out of New York City or New Jersey.
Okay.
It pops up to, typically you'll go to Boston.
All right.
Spend a day in Boston, then you can see the changes there. We actually saw some beautiful changes there.
Yeah, it's beautiful there.
Come out of there, went to Portland, Maine. Great seafood, obviously. Great food up there. Same thing, scenario. But then when you start up the passage going to Canada, Nova Scotia, you bounce out on the island, Sydney, Halifax, and it comes around the inside to St. John. Unbelievable.
It's like I always say it's like one of those, like the model trains, how they have the city set up. That's what it looks like. It's these little houses.
Especially
They're not little houses, but the way the trees look and the houses look and the cars are, it just reminds me of that. Like you're in this little tiny train, little town that's not real, but it's beautiful.
It does look. In Portland, Maine, I will tell you, first off, that whole trip is amazing. You have to do it. 9-day typical, somewhere around 9-day trip. A couple days at sea, but it is absolutely just the weather too. If you like a little cooler, it's going on ships that typically are in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And you can sit on a deck and it's 50 degrees. Like we went from 40, 50 degrees to 28 degrees.
Beautiful.
Then it warmed back up to about 60. Crazy.
Well, you know how I love cold weather. So, of course, but when we went to Alaska, we had a heat wave, so I was not happy because it was hot in Alaska.
I didn't know they had heat waves in Alaska, to be honest with you.
I was wearing shorts.
We were literally going into Juneau in end of June, beginning of July, and it was, they said, we're at a heat wave. I go, what's that? He goes, 72 degrees, it's a heat wave. Juneau, Alaska, no kidding.
Yeah.
It was warm, you actually sweated.
Sounds pretty darn comfortable. Now, when you plan a trip to Europe, okay, what are the things that are different that you've got to consider when traveling abroad like that?
So I would say you want to build in a day on the front and back, because you have to think about, if you only want to go for 7 days, 2 of those days are flying, because most of the time when you're flying from the States, it's a red eye. I mean, you're flying later, so
long hours.
You don't want to get off, and then all of a sudden you're doing tours, or you're jumping on a ship, and now you're go. You won't catch up to sleep.
Right.
So I always try to say at least 2 to 3 days ahead, and maybe a day on the back end. But if you absolutely don't want to do that, then fly home the same day. But normally 2 to 3 days on the front end is what I would recommend.
And pre and post travel, if you're going that far, build in, like we got a trip that we planned out. We're doing a transatlantic in October. Coming back from Europe, from actually, where we're leaving out of?
Rome.
Rome. We're going into Ireland for 2 days, then we're bouncing to England for 2 days, then we're bouncing down to Rome. We're going to make the best of that in that trip over there. So pre and post is important, depending on how you're traveling over there, because also you're going to be tired.
Oh, yeah.
A long flight, that's just a flight. Can you imagine at the airport and all the other stuff getting there and excitement?
Yeah, and a lot of people do it one time. So if you're going to go
Yeah,
all that
bucket
way,
list.
spend 10, 12, 14 days there.
Yeah,
because
make the most
it's not
of
going to besides the hotels, it's really not going to cost you more in air adding those few days on. So.
Yeah, that's true. Now, what about the considerations for things like medical or passport or, those? I mean, because that's stuff that, like, if you're just going down the Caribbean, you don't think about any of that.
Right. Well, your passport has to be active 6 months after you travel. And I think we talked about it a few shows ago. That's in case you get sick or get stuck.
Right.
Hopefully you're not getting sick to be there past 6 months.
Yeah.
But if you get stuck, if something happens, a natural disaster, you have to have that 6 month built in.
Right.
And then you want to make sure you have travel insurance because your medical insurance is not helping you if you're going out of the States.
Right.
So always remember that. I always tell people, not just cancellation, but please, if you don't want to do cancellation, try to do medical. There are a lot of
accidents happen.
Accidents happen, but there's a lot of policies that you can do, like a $99 for the year just for medical. If you do nothing else, do medical.
Well, to clarify, medical's not going to help you. It have no coverage outside the United States, including going to Canada and internationally.
Yeah, correct. Yes.
So you may have to get a separate policy, and we recommend to travel. We have a year policy, so we can travel anywhere in the world. But we're also retired military, so we have the ability to have insurance going into these countries over there, allied countries. Yeah.
I actually had no idea about that. So basically, we're talking about that. This is the bucket list kind of thing, where you're planning all that, and that's really why you want a real travel agent to do it instead of trying to like piecemeal this by yourself.
Yes.
Because you guys have done this more than one or two times for people.
Yes, more than one or two.
So you know. All right. So, and by the way, folks, if you're interested in contacting us and learning more about travel and postcard travel planning in particular, use the URL that you see on the screen, use that QR code, and go to the website and check it out and see what we have to offer and join the travel club there because there are a lot of benefits.
That's important.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, because there are special discounts and trips and things that come up that like for 24 hours. And that'll be on the website, and then it disappears. So you want to make sure that you take advantage of that and get in on that. Plus, we're giving away a free cruise.
That's right, we are.
Soon to announce where that's going to go. But it's going to be a random selection from somebody that's joined our travel club. All right, so we're going to take a quick little break here and look at some fun commercials, and then we're going to come back and continue with our show right here at Postcard Travel TV. Hey folks, welcome back into Postcard Travel TV. We're your travel gurus. I'm Lou, that's Amy, that's Dennis. And we're going to talk about something that Dennis is an expert on, that's being cheap. No, it's about, value and cheap travel, discounted travel. When is it appropriate to do that?
And Dennis doesn't like the word cheap when it comes to travel.
No.
He always says that. People always say, can you get it for me cheap?
And he's like, no.
Cheap is not always good.
Yes.
Yeah.
But free is.
Free is good. Free is for me.
No, we start out, so value versus cheap. We
Yeah.
like to use. A lower price cruise does not necessarily mean cheap and you're getting shortened on stuff. So we look at value. We look at the value, what you're paying for what you're getting, amenities, extra things, drink packages, dining packages, Wi-Fi. So we look at a value package. Like some cruise lines out there include it, MSC.
Yeah.
For a very minimal amount more than your cruise, you're going to get Wi-Fi and the drink package included. Great value. Not a cheap cruise. Cheaper in price, yes, because their value priced it, but the quality of the ships are amazing. Going over to Norwegian, they do like an all-inclusive as well. When you get the free at sea, and you're getting Wi-Fi, specialty dining, all this stuff. A lot of people like it because it makes it an all-inclusive trip, like going to a resort, which we love, like Sandals and Club Med and different places. So we love that part of it. So getting it value price, your travel agent can help you. Another saying we have, if you want to go on this vacation to this place, this cruise, this time of year, you're going to pay for it.
You're gonna pay
when Amy and I can go in the computer and move it 2 weeks and save you $800 on a cruise, or move it here, or we can send you to New York City on a school bus that's doesn't have air conditioning, the windows are down, or we can send you in a motor coach, TVs, champagne, your choice.
Right.
Yes. And there's, depending on the certain time of the year, Christmas, New Year's are the highest costing time to go. So if you want to go at Christmas and you want to go at New Year's, that's the highest price to go.
Okay.
If you want to go during the summer, you have to think about everybody's on vacation. Those cruise ships are filling up. They don't have to lower their prices because they're selling out.
Yeah.
So why would they bring the price down? you never usually see third and fourth guest free during those peak seasons.
Okay.
So if you can move, during hurricane season, I know that sounds scary when you say hurricane season, but September, October, November, early November, that's really the best, cheapest time to go. I know he doesn't like the word cheap, value. And you get third and fourth guests free. So if you've got 3, 4, 5 kids, you're getting third and fourth guests free, if we need to move you to that to get a little cheaper price. So
see that, and that's great that you can do that, and actually just by moving a little bit. But see, that's something that, like, if I were doing it myself, booking it, I'd have no idea.
Yes,
I'd have no idea to play with that.
And moving from deck 6 to deck 5 might bring the price down $300.
Wow.
So and you could go from a room that's over here 10 doors down and pay $300 less. So, which you may not know that as a guest just picking your room.
But you can check it.
But we can check it.
On the cruise, they have categories. So you could be a A1 category, gives you decks 7, 8, 9 for a balcony. A2 may give you 9, 10, or a higher 11, 12, up to 14 or something. So moving down a deck or something, like she said. The other thing in the fall is after summer's peak season for all travel, right?
Yeah.
Going to Europe, doesn't matter where it is. Families are off, the schools are typically out, and people travel. The fall hurricane season for the Caribbean and also off school time can save money. But the cheapest holiday we found is Thanksgiving. Because it's in the U.S., it just seems like people want to be home and be together because our kids actually jumped us on that. We were on a Thanksgiving. We've done several Thanksgiving cruises together.
Right.
But one time we went on a cruise, and what do you mean you're not going to be home? They're expecting dinner.
And they're in their 20s, so it's not like they're young.
In their 20s, exactly.
Yeah.
So those are all good. And like she said, cheap. We're not saying cheap like it's a bad cruise. Cheap pricing. Less expensive times. We can get you set up. And we say this, just tell us if you want to go. Don't say I don't have the money or I can't afford it. We can figure it out. Yeah. We can get you something, and we can make sure it's quality, good value, but you can get out there.
Well, I was going to lead into that too. Give us a budget. People always say, I don't know what my budget is. You have some type of budget. You're thinking in your mind, I can only spend $2,000. Well, that's fine. Let's see what we can find for you.
You can back into a number.
I don't like to say, no, I can't find that. Let me look and see what I can find to fit. Yeah. You may have to take a 7-day cruise and make it a 3-day cruise or a 4 to fit in that budget.
But you're going.
So I really like people to give budgets because it's good.
Is it true with the whole theory that, like, if I book further out, it's going to be less expensive? I mean, do they actually raise prices?
In most cases.
They do raise. Yes, they do raise prices as it gets closer. But sometimes they lower the price if they're not selling great cabins. So, again, having a good travel agent, we watch that price. We watch when sales come out. We go back and reprice your cruise and bring the price down if it does change.
No, see, and that's excellent.
And not everybody does that.
We call it flight following. Some of the cruise lines boast they do that. They don't necessarily do that unless you call them. Yeah. But we monitor that pricing, and we see those adjustments in pricing. Typically, you got to book early on, and we'll work it all the way up.
And just ride it.
Ride it, because we're gonna save you the money. All of them used to be. You used to have these budget things at the end, way before COVID. 15 years ago, 18 years ago. No, they're all selling out.
Yeah.
We got cruises now just trying to book them.
Well, and here's the thing, folks. If you're interested in saving money and paying getting a cruise that's less expensive, not cheap, but less expensive, okay, go to the URL that you see on the screen right there. Use that QR code and go to our website. Take a look at this. Amy's got it right here. We're going to show it to you guys just so you can see what it looks like. There it is. Boom. And sign up for the travel club. And get registered for that free cruise we're going to be giving away there. But you'll get all those deals right away, right?
Yes, you get all the deals. You can actually book some of our New Year's Eve cruises that we have going. You see the deal of the week. And again, if you don't like the QR code like Dennis, you can just go straight to the website, and there's the pop-up screen that will take you to that same screen. And you can chat with Dennis and I live, because that chat feature is us chatting with you, not a robot, as you can see when it pops up there.
Not a robot, too.
Not a robot.
You know, it's funny, too, because like Dennis said something a couple of shows that we shot earlier about how if it answers in 2 seconds, it's not a real person.
That's correct. That's
right. You know what I mean? It's a bot at that point. And every time I contact the airline, it's like, hi, may I help you? And I'm like, you're not real.
Yeah, you're not real. No, they answer you right away now.
Hey, our fingers have got to get to the computer.
Yeah, exactly.
It takes longer than 2 seconds.
Gotta sit down and do that.
Or on our phone.
We're out of time for this segment. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back in just a moment. Oh, and we're going to have our drink of the week. Stay tuned. Hey folks, welcome back into Postcard Travel TV. You're here in time for the drink of the week featuring Amy's favorite French martini. It's Double Trouble.
baked curacao goes in the first. That's Malibu, 1 ounce of them. And a blue curacao.
Blue Curacao, gotcha.
Yes, sir. And a pineapple juice.
Pineapple juice, and this is Dennis from Postcard Travel Planning with our drink of the week, of course. And we got Carlos from the Philippines, and he's a double shake, and we're gonna tell you what that's about here in a minute. When we're talking about bartenders, this is about the best they get right here. All right.
French martini made of vodka, Chambord, or any raspberry liqueur.
Raspberry liqueur. Chambord's the best.
Chambord is the best, correct. And a pineapple juice.
And pineapple juice. Okay, that's right, yeah. This is where we come in. This is the difference right here. Watch this. This is it. It's all about the shake, Carlos. From the Philippines. You can't just make this up. He didn't just start today. I'll put him up against any bartender in the U.S. As a matter of fact, we're on our way to New York City. I don't think there's anybody as good as Carlos.
Yeah. Double pour.
Double pour, double trouble.
Made of Tito's.
Drop a cherry in there. Oh, look at that in the bottom, just right. We got Carlos all the way from the Philippines, had just given us a double trouble right here. Double trouble because we were at sea, and I'll show you this beautiful view up here. And it is about 8 to 10 foot seas. Thank you, Carlos, for the double trouble. Stay safe. Drink of the week.
Wow, double trouble. By the way, that's what they call Dennis and I when we cruise.
That's right.
So, tell me about that drink.
We've been called that before.
We have.
So Double Trouble comes to us from Royal Caribbean, and our bartender, Carlos. We met him on our New England cruise coming back, and we were out in the Atlantic, and it was actually rough. The ship wasn't rough, right? It wasn't rocking too much, but it was 8 foot seas.
Wow.
And it was calm as can be.
Yeah.
But we had the Curacao Cosmo, and we had the French Martini. And when
It's
I
my
say
drink.
one of the best, probably one of the best bartenders, and when you watch the video,
Yeah.
you saw him. Who can do that? So he makes 2 drinks at the Curacao Cosmo, which consists of pineapple, blue curacao, and Malibu, which is a sweeter drink, not a lot of alcohol in that. That's fine. It's a good drink for somebody. Just not for me. Yes, I needed
neither.
sugar. French Martini, Amy's favorite.
My favorite.
He made it with Tito's, which is pineapple juice, and Chambord.
Chambord, yeah.
Absolutely amazing. But when he shakes like this,
That was
and then he
amazing.
pops the containers, and then doesn't use a strainer, uses
Yeah.
2 containers and just pours both drinks. And the other amazing thing is, it stops pouring when the glass is full. It's not over full. It's not
He
under
measured
full.
it
There was no
perfectly.
extra. How do they do that? I don't know.
He's amazing.
Carlos was amazing.
Carlito, he's amazing, and
Carlito.
that's definitely, those are 2 drinks that we're gonna have to try. I'm actually making a list of all the drinks of the week, and I'm gonna try all of them at some point. Not on the
Yeah.
same day, probably,
Yeah.
but we'll see. We'll see
And
how
he-
that. We'll see how
He
that
made a
goes.
good French martini because you know how particular
Oh,
I
Oh
am.
no,
so-
Amy
perfect.
does.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
knows.
It's
She
the
knows.
only thing I drink. I
I
drink
know.
and nothing else. You know,
Yeah, I
nothing
know, I
else.
know.
So
I
I'm very
know.
particular when it comes to those.
Well, and so that's a great segue actually, because not all French martinis are made the same.
No, they are
but
not.
neither are all cruise ships.
That's right.
And so tell us, like, what is this about all the cruise ships, the differences between them that we should look for?
Well, they all have a different personality. Each ship has a different personality. Let's say you took Carnival Cruise Line. You got brand new Celebration, brand new Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
They're state-of-the-art ships. The personalities on them from the people. One's leaving from Miami, one's leaving from Port Canaveral, but it's just, I don't know, they have their own cultures themselves. Cruise lines, obviously, it's like buying a car, Chevy, Ford, Mercedes,
Yeah.
BMW, all different. So think of that. And then they all have their models. The same thing with the cruise ships. So you
Right.
got Royal, you got Norwegian, you got Princess, you got Carnival, right down the line. So that's what we kind of talk about. And we try to fit the people to the right cruise line, the right cruise ship. You could leave on an older cruise ship, might be great if you want to sit and relax, read books and all that stuff, not much going on. But if you have kids, you want a newer model with the new all water slides and water, all
Yeah.
the water parks and the go-karts or what's on.
Well, and I do have to say, you could do a 3-day carnival and it be a certain way, but you could just switch that 3-day to an MSC and it changes personality.
thing.
Yeah.
It changes it. So
Even on the same itinerary.
yes, I mean, just
Huh.
changing the ship makes a difference for who we're booking. So
Right,
that's
right.
why you really have to know your client, because there are some clients that you do not want to put on a 3-day carnival ship.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Your older crowd, they do not want to do that.
I don't want that.
And when I say older, I don't mean that like older. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's you have to know your client.
No, and listen, there were people that are older that love to party, so
Yes,
they want that. You know, and it's funny because it's the same thing with like if you go to an all-inclusive. You know, if you go to a Sandals all-inclusive, they're going to have the quiet pool and the party pool, and they literally call them that because, you know.
Yes, and I do have to say, even though they say they want a party, I always ask what kind of party. Okay, and who do you want your fellow partiers to be like? Because we may say, yes, we like to party because we do like to party.
But what type?
But what type of party?
Kind of party we
So you
about?
have to really know. You have to know.
On the cultural side, we get this question all the time. What was your favorite cruise? Our favorite cruise as a family was Carnival Breeze because we had all the family. Our favorite cruise ship that we ever went on and had time with group was going to be Norwegian Escape. Royal Caribbean, Utopia, Mason Jar Bar, we love Icon. So they all have their personalities, and we're fixing to go on Celebrity Beyond, which is our favorite celebrity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right now.
I got to get on a celebrity at some point because you guys talk about them all the time.
Yes.
And it just sounds
We will take you.
pretty. Yeah, I know you. In fact, and we'll take you. But the only way we can is if you go to the website or you click on that QR code and join the travel club here, or just straight up book a cruise. All right. So guys, we're out of time. Hard to believe, right?
I know, it's
Hard to
crazy.
believe.
Another episode. All right, folks. This is Postcard Travel TV. I'm Lou. This is Amy. That's Dennis. We'll be back next Sunday right here on Binge TV at 11:30. See you then.